Okay, so we're gonna put live chat, and I hope the audio works. I have the mic connected, so today's live stream is gonna be a little bit, a little bit. That's an exaggeration. It's going to be very different. As you can tell, as you can see, we are here at Parque La Carolina, literally in the city of Quito, literally here. I didn't expect to be live streaming in the park, but I thought it would be really fun, something different. I wanted to make a lot, there's a lot of content ideas that I had. I had one in specific because I had talked to a friend a few weeks ago to see if she could hang out and like show me around Quito. And she never told me, she never got back to me, so I just assumed she's busy. And I didn't know what else to do. Well, I do know what else to do. I actually have another idea for later, but it's not a live stream. It's more of a just recording at home kind of thing. And not even my house, because obviously I'm not at my house. I'm in Quito. So that's the idea, that's the plan, that's what I want to do. And I hope everyone who joins, I hope you enjoy the stream. It is very different to what I would normally do, but I think it's gonna be fun. Either way, like I said in the title and in the description, this will also be a Q&A. So if you have any questions, cool. It's also going to be a first impressions, even though I have been in Quito before, but I've never been in this park. And another thing about that, by the way, don't forget to tell me if the audio works, because I'm using it with the mic. Since there's a lot of things that have changed apparently since I last came to Quito, because the last time I came to Quito was when I was in college, in the university here, public, but not with the university. A friend of mine, her name is Gabby, she said if I wanted to go to Quito to get to know Quito, I went with her, I went with her family, and we came to Quito, and it was fun. It was an interesting experience. But if I had to be honest about that experience, a lot of it is blurry because it's just been so long. And I've just been living my life in the city I'm in, Puerto Viejo. So it's a completely different situation. And not completely different in the sense that they're two different worlds, but in the sense that you're so focused on your life in the city that you live in, like no matter where you live in, suppose you live in the United States, or maybe you're in Canada, or maybe you're in Japan, your life is your life. It's so different from everything else. Like you're doing what you gotta do, you're living your life, you're working, maybe you don't work and you just hang out around the house. I don't know, really, it really depends on what everyone does. However you occupy your time, as long as it makes you happy, that's what matters. But the point is, it's different. When I came here, it was just like touristing. I came, I hung out, took pictures, and went back home. Now I'm here, I'm actually staying with a cousin, and I was here already yesterday, all day yesterday, pretty much, since the morning. I've been here all day today because I spent the night, and there's a lot of things I could say about my experience. First, the fact that my parents and my family told me, oh, Quito's so cold, and it wasn't that cold. And I know it's coincidence, because I'm not saying Quito isn't cold. I'm just saying at the moment that I came, it wasn't cold. And it was just kind of like fresh. Like right now I'm wearing a jacket because when I woke up, it was kind of cold. But now it's just warm. It has its moments. Like if I walk around and overheat myself, then it's gonna be hot. But if I just sit here and talk, it's not gonna be that cold. It's gonna be kind of like a conversational setting anyways. So yeah, that's the situation with at least the climate. The climate isn't, like I said, it's not overly cold. Maybe at first you'll feel it, but once you walk around, once you do daily life stuff, you're gonna notice that the climate, it's not that bad. It's not that cold. It's not as cold as you would say, oh, I go to a place that's naturally cold. Who knows, maybe Alaska. Like, it's not like that. It's just kind of fresh, you know? I'm wondering if the audio is working. and I can't even check because I don't have my other phone. And I can't even leave a comment like, oh, hey, is the audio working? Or maybe I can just disconnect it and use the natural noise and see what happens. You know what? We're gonna try it natural. So we're gonna disconnect the microphone. So let me know if the audio is good. Oh, the audio works. Right now I disconnected the mic, so it's probably a little bit louder, a lot more ambient noise. I'm kind of worried because I'm like, it would be terrible. It would suck to like talk and talk and talk, and the audio is not working. So let me see. Right now this is me without the mic, and if I connect this. Hello, testing. This is me with the mic. So if there's a difference, let me know. And by the way, hello, Ecuador Raw and Real. How's it going? Good to see you here. And yeah, so the climate, not that big a deal. It might be colder in other days, and I just might coincidentally be here when it's warm-ish. But I don't think it's a big deal. So, all right, cool. Hello, Raven. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling the mic is that it's gonna be a different experience. Without the mic, I'm like screaming into the camera and like hoping a whole bunch of noise from the background doesn't get picked up. But I'm glad it works. And good to see you guys here. By the way, so like I was saying, climate, not the biggest deal. I hope it doesn't get colder and then afterward it's like, psh, 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 you were wrong. Well, I was wrong. That would suck. Because it's not that I don't like the cold, but I kept saying, oh, I'm not cold, you know, I feel warm. I would even take this off right now because I don't feel cold. But I just don't want to leave it because I already have my backpack here. And I don't want to leave too many things out of sight. I mean, I can kind of see it, like if I look like that, like if I look like that. But I don't want to have to be worrying about it. So that's my impressions on the climate. Climate, not bad. Especially if you're in a warm city. Someone who's like constantly hot, like I feel like I overheat very easily. So like everything that's hot just becomes hotter. But yeah, in a bit, by the way, we're going to walk around, you know, take a tour of the park. I hope they don't have any guards that say, no, you can't record here. But I want to kind of show you around. But yeah, the climate is okay. The people. So far, I haven't had too much interactions with the people, to be honest. I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to someone other than my cousin and this one guy from like this organization. And he was really nice. But when you talk to someone from an organization, you assume they're going to be very nice. So the assumption versus the reality are two, you know, questionable things. I thought he was nice. And I don't think he's not nice. His name is Jaime, by the way. He's a good guy. It's just, I want to meet someone who's not from a corporate setting and not have a camera on them and just talk to them. Because when you have a camera on someone, of course, you know, they might just start behaving well. But when they don't have a camera on them, you get to see how they really are. The bad thing is you can't document that because no one can see it, but the good thing is at least I can confirm it's real, if that means anything to anyone. But yeah, that's the situation with the people. My cousin, she lives here. She's lived here pretty much like her whole life. She's really nice. And of course she would be, she's my cousin. I don't know how she treats other people, but I saw her interact when we were at a restaurant. This reminds me of something from a Casually Explained video. And if you haven't seen Casually Explained, you might want to check it out. It's literally called Casually Explained. It's a YouTube channel, it's like comedy. They make little sketches of like literally little like doodles that, and the guy like tells jokes while explaining serious situations. And one of the things that he explained was that if a person, and this was it's a first date thing, or like or a red flag thing, I think. If they treat people poorly, it's like a sign of how they'll treat you. And it's not specifically just people, it's how they treat wait staff. Because they might treat other people who aren't wait staff good, but if they treat wait staff bad, like waiters and stuff, that's like saying that there's a chance that they'll treat you bad, like when they feel like, when they're stressed, or when they're having like a bad day, like they'll have a moment where they just won't be able to control themselves and they'll treat you bad. There's a possibility. It's not guaranteed, of course, but that's what the video casually explained was saying. There's that chance, and I think it's true, because you just think about it. One thing is how you treat your friends. One thing is how you treat your family. Another thing is how you treat a person who you don't really care about, and that's the wait staff. It's not that you don't care about them, but like they're not your family, they're not your friends, you don't know them, so you're kind of like. So I can see someone like thinking they have authority over them, and that's not good, obviously. I don't agree with that, but I can see why you would think that if a person treats them poorly, they would treat you poorly, because it makes sense. But anyways, I went too far into that. My cousin, she treated the waiter really nice. My cousin's name is Priscilla. I'm hoping I can get her in a video later today. She seems to have really fun interactions. It was nice talking to her. I haven't seen her in forever, like probably since I was born. So it was nice getting to hang out with her and being here in Quito and having to get this experience of being in Quito, first of all. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I've been dying to come to Quito and I had planned to come to Quito like since a year ago. No, that's not true. I literally, like, it was something that just like a month ago, I had the opportunity, some work, and I'm here. So if you ever need work, you have a job for me, and you need me, and you're willing to get me someplace, I don't mind helping you out. As work, of course, because there's certain things that I have to do too. Like, for example, I didn't work on Monday and on Tuesday because of the process of coming to Quito. So I had to get my brother to substitute for me. So the days I can't work, I have to cover that with something else. So, you know, it's just work things. If you ever need someone to help you out in a place and such, let me know. But leaving that to the side, so that's the situation with people. My cousin, really nice. I also saw my aunt and uncle, super sweet. They told me about some things about Quito. Normally you might say, oh, but this is an isolated incident. It's not isolated incident. They live here. They hear about the news from Quito. So they're like telling me all of these things. And my uncle, he's a taxi driver. So he not only knows it more because he travels all around the city, but he hears it from other people who like get in the taxi, like, oh yeah, this and that, you know. I'm not gonna go into the details unless someone leaves a comment, Ace, go into the details. But that is something that happens. That is a situation. And yeah, that is, well, not a situation, that's something that happened. That's something that my uncle was telling me about. But like I said, only if you want to know about it, because I really want to make today's conversation positive, because I have had this like itching feeling that sometimes my live streams or my conversations or my videos, they look negative. It's not on purpose. It's not like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit in front of this camera and tell everyone negativity. No, I just wanna be real. And a lot of the realness that's here is that there's problems in Ecuador. Like, it happens. It happens. I can't just like cover my eyes and say it's not happening. And wait, I just saw a comment and it went away. Let me see, top chat. First of all, Dovi, good guy. I love that, good guy. Nice to see you here. Why is there so much negative talk by YouTubers about Quito compared to Cuenca? How strong is the problem of altitude sickness in Quito? That's another first impression thing I should tell you about. But since you asked first about the negative talk by YouTubers about Quito, I'll tell you what, like, a part of what my cousin and my uncle were telling me. My cousin, gladly, thankfully, she has a car, not gladly. And we were driving around. Yesterday, we were looking for an ATM. And my cousin, like, you can go to an ATM that's just out in the open. Of course, there's some of those. But she was like, no, she doesn't want to risk it because it's dangerous. So the bad rep that YouTubers are giving Quito is because there's a lot more petty crime now. And yesterday when I was talking to Jaime, who I mentioned earlier, he said that it's been ramping up. And some other people have also told me that, like, if you go back 6 months to Quito, like Quito 6 months ago, there wasn't this many problems. because there's a lot of problems that my aunt and uncle were telling me about. They said that there's always been problems, but you go back 6 months ago and the amount of problems weren't the same as they are now. So if Quito YouTubers or people from in Quito are talking about Quito being bad, it's more of a, like, the level is a recent thing, because there's always been danger. There's always danger in every city. I'm not gonna just say like every place you go is dangerous, but I'm not gonna say every place you go is not dangerous. Like, you're gonna have like a level of danger depending on what you do. Like, if I go right now with my phone, like what I'm recording in my phone right now, I'm in the park, which is safe. My cousin told me like it was safe. You just saw a police drive by. But if I grab this and I go into like the middle of the city, I walk around the city with my phone and go to an area where there's no people, go to an area where, I don't know, the lights don't work, who knows, then I'm asking for danger. And yes, there is that possibility of danger being there because I'm asking for it. But in general, it seems like it's not like every place is dangerous. It's the same thing with Puerto Viejo and in Ecuador in general. I keep saying this, like, Ecuador has its dangers. This is dangerous, but it's not all of Ecuador. So that's one situation. I can go into the further details that my uncle told me about, but like I said, I'm only going to do that if someone says, Ace, talk about the really negative things, because that's really negative things. And I don't want to go too into that. Right now, I'm just explaining this might be why YouTubers are talking about the dangers in Quito. It might be because of the really negative things. And that's just next level. But we've already been seeing things like that happen in Puerto Viejo. In Guayaquil, obviously, everyone already knows Guayaquil is a dangerous city right now. So it's already been happening. But here, it seems like it's just been in the process of these last 6 months that the danger has been escalating. But anyways, my situation with altitude sickness, I can't say I felt like full-on, full-blown altitude sickness when I got here. But this is a personal thing. Everyone is gonna be different. I got here and I felt my ears pop because I was in an airplane, ironically. I felt my ears pop. I got here, there were times where I was like, I was standing and I would walk to a certain place, and it's not like it has to be that place. I would just walk and stop, and my head would start to pulsate. Like, the back of it, I would feel like it got heavy. So I don't know if that's altitude sickness. It might have also been the 2 nights that I spent editing. Like, one night I stayed up until 1:30. No, later. I stayed up until almost like 2. And the other night when I was in Manta, because I was in Manta, if you guys saw the live stream with Don Shader, the man, Don Shader, shout out, how's it going, man? If you're around or if you see this. But I stayed the night in Manta, and I stayed up that night editing my video until no, that was the night I stayed up until like 3:30, because I think the night before I stayed up until 4. But I had to stay up really late editing my last video, which it's not public yet. It's already uploaded. I just need to finish adding the details. But I'm in Quito. I don't have the laptop that I have at home. It's not my laptop. That's why I don't say I don't have my laptop. I don't have the laptop I have at home, which makes it easier for me to edit the details. So I can't do that. And I still have to make a thumbnail for it that looks nice. So yeah, I stayed up really late, so that might be the reason why I had those headaches. Not even headaches, it was just like my head would pulsate or feel heavy in the back. And maybe it was also because of what I ate, because yesterday I ate for the first time, I ate yapingacho, which everyone said is like amazing Ecuador dish. Anyone Ecuadorian seeing this, it was meh. Maybe I ate it at a place that makes it meh, but it was meh. And I made a little short for that. I'll probably upload it in these days, trying yapingacho for the first time, or my first reaction, but you guys just heard it. But you'll see my live reaction to see what was my face when I was eating it. All I know is that a friend ordered something else. He ordered like this kind of chorizo, like this sausage or something that was like really red. I thought it was like in the States, I remember there's these like hot sausages. They're really good. when they used to sell them. I'm pretty sure they weren't healthy, but when I was in the States, I wasn't worrying about health, except for with exercise. But he gave me what, like, he had one left over. I was like, oh, let me try it. And that chorizo was 10 million times better than the yapingacho. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. So yeah, there is good food here. Just the thing about Quito, and I understand the Manaba perspective, is that Quito has different food from, let's just say, Puerto Viejo, because that's where I'm at. Because the food from Manabí, Puerto Viejo, is different. It's a little bit more seasoned sometimes, it's different. And the food from Quito is highland food, Sierra food. And sometimes it's not as seasoned. Like the yapingacho, I felt like it wasn't really seasoned, but the chorizo thing, it was. So it really depends on what you're eating. And like for example, in Puerto Viejo, I've tasted bad dishes. I've tasted bad corviches. I like corviche, but I've tasted bad corviches. Maybe here I tasted a bad yapingacho, but yapingacho might be really good. And there might be other foods that are just really good. It just really depends, to be honest, with certain foods. But I understand the conflict. People from the coast, Manabí, they're so used to eating Manabí food that Quito food, not as good. And the same thing in the coast. They're so used to eating Manabí food that they wouldn't want Quito food. So Quito doesn't like Manabí food, Manabí doesn't like Quito food. Although I have heard Quito does like Manabí food. So Don seems like a great guy from his videos. He doesn't like the big cities like Quito. Too much congestion, noise compared to Manta. I can vouch for the congestion because last night when we were going home, like after with my cousin, we went out to eat. We went to eat some sushi. If you haven't seen it, there's pictures of it on Instagram if you want to check that out. But with my cousin, we went to go eat sushi. And yeah, sushi in Quito, but because they say in the country some of the best sushi places are in Quito. I'm really hopeful that I can find a place that sells ramen. If I can find a place that sells ramen, yes. But anyways, the point is that I ate sushi and it was good. And then afterwards, it was really good actually. Then we went back home, and on the way back home, there was a street that had a whole bunch of cars. So like the cars, and that's a good thing. In some places, they seem to take the lights a little more seriously. And I think there's more lights. So they were stuck there, and like we had to wait like for 2 red lights to pass in order to finally go. And I told my cousin, it must suck having a car instead of a motorcycle in situations like these. Because here, you know, in motorcycles, people will like swerve and go through everything. And she said, that's still not a good thing. I know it's not a good thing. But there was but the bad thing is like you get stuck in a car, and in a motorcycle, there's less of a chance that you get stuck. So, you know, there's pros and cons. With a motorcycle, since it rains so randomly here in Quito, you always have to like worry about like wearing a raincoat. And that's a suggestion I'm gonna make in a video. But you have to make sure to wear a raincoat so that you don't get like wet on a motorcycle or just walking around the streets. Especially since right now you're talking about the tips on free walking tours. By the way, hello B-Lit. I hope you're doing well. Free walking tours, day trips. Free walking tours. I can't say that I know where you can find a free walking tour here in Quito. What I can say is that my cousin, she showed me, there's this like here in the park, like in the corner. If we get a chance, I'll take the camera and I'll show you the area. But there's this like bus stop, and you can pay for like the bus, and it's touristic bus, like a tour bus that you can sit on the top, and they'll give you a little tour around the city. So there is that. I don't know of any place that offers a free tour. I do know of certain places that you can go into and it's free. Like here in Quito, they say a lot of the churches are really pretty. I did see, there's a picture, I should post that on Instagram, of we're in this like restaurant and we're seeing the city, and you can see the Basilisca or something like that, the basilisk, I think. And it looks really nice. In the picture you can see it. Like it's so detailed, the picture's so vivid, you can see it. And it looks really nice. But you can go into that for free. You can enter it for free. But if you want to climb it, it costs like my cousin told me it costs like $3 or something like that. So I don't know of any free tours. What I do know is you can tour yourself, like, and just walk around the city, of course. That's what I was doing earlier, not with my phone out, because like I'm not gonna give advice that I don't take, but don't walk around with your phone randomly. In the safe area, maybe, but even then I'm kind of like questioning it. Like, if someone comes and tells me you can't record here, like if I can't record here, like I'll just see if I can walk around for like 10 minutes and then afterwards end the stream. Because I do plan on ending the stream in an hour because I don't have a lot of battery and I have to get home. But you know, I have to call an Uber. Which, that reminds me, my cousin told me Uber, the better option here in the city than the yellow taxis. Apparently the yellow taxis, going into a little bit of the situation of danger, they've been doing like kidnappings and stuff like that. So you have to be very cautious with what vehicle you take. And they say Uber is the safest. I can't confirm. I'm just going to, I took 2 Ubers yesterday, but I was with 2 other people. Today I'm gonna take one by myself, so I can confirm it after that. Going into the next comment, and by the way, thank you Be Lit for your comment, your question. How much is the threat of dangerous earthquakes as a deterrent to people wanting to live in Ecuador? 0. I would say if your concern about coming to Ecuador is an earthquake, you might as well get rid of that concern, because there's no guarantee, like there's no counter guarantee that there will or won't be an earthquake. So, for example, I can be here right now and an earthquake can hit. I don't know, like who knows really? It's super random to the point where sometimes you'll feel a mini quake like one day and you won't feel one for the rest of the year. And sometimes you'll feel one day, you'll feel one 2 days later, and then you'll feel one like another 2 days later. And you'll be like, oh my God, this is a sign of a big earthquake, but it never comes. When the 2016 Puerto Viejo earthquake happened, no one expected it. If anything, they only expected the tiny quakes, which is just, I'm just gonna move the camera, something like that, like a tiny quake. Like you just kind of feel a little bit of a movement and that's it. No one expected city destruction level earthquakes. Even, I guess they should have expected it if it ever happened, because the cities were not well constructed in the sense that the buildings were poorly constructed, but they never expected something like that to happen. It should not be a deterrent for anyone to leave, because there's no way to guarantee when's gonna happen. If you don't want an earthquake, you'd have to go to a place that literally never has earthquakes. But I've heard that in certain cities in the States, even Japan, they have earthquakes and it's like, you live through it. It's not to the level where you would have to like panic. So that's my opinion, of course. If you do feel fear because you lived through an earthquake, because as someone who lived through the Puerto Viejo earthquake, and I know people who are now very scared of quakes, I understand. It's not like I can't empathize with anyone like that, but I don't want you to say earthquakes is the reason I'm not coming to Ecuador. Could you imagine you didn't choose Ecuador and Ecuador was your dream place, and in 10 years, no earthquake ever happened? Like, you would feel like, why didn't I go to Ecuador if in 10 years they never had a quake? Like, but because of the panic of that, like, it's the same thing with crime. Like, crime should not be the deterrent, like the end all deterrent. If you come here and everything you see with crime makes you feel like you shouldn't come, then that's a different story. Like, always take an exploratory trip before you come to like make your end decision to live in Ecuador. But before that, like, don't worry about it. Don't like stress yourself out for one thing when that one thing might not ever happen to you, especially if you take the necessary precautions. Earthquakes, if you live in a very structurally sound house, you should be one of the people who never has to worry about an earthquake. Like I was saying with Puerto Viejo, houses, buildings were poorly constructed, that's why they came down. The earthquake was strong, but I live next to a plaza in Puerto Viejo, and the plaza did not come down. On the other hand, a chicken store, like a chicken restaurant, came down and killed people. So it really all depends on how well it was constructed. But yeah, appreciate your question. Dovey, it was good. Sir, yours. Long time no here. How are you doing with the cold of Quito? There, the water hurts when I wash my hands. Funny story about that. In the, like yesterday, like I said earlier in the stream, I said it didn't affect me. Like I got here to Quito and I didn't feel extreme levels of cold. It felt cold, yeah. Like it was fresher than Puerto Viejo, but it didn't feel freezing. During the day, it got a little bit colder, then it got really sunny, then there was a moment where it rained, and it was just all over the place when it came to the weather. But when I touched water, because I had to take a shower at my aunt's house, it was super cold. Like the water was, like when I first touched it, because then afterwards she had an option to turn it hot, and I used hot water. I chickened out, I'm sorry. But I did use cold water in the end. But during the majority of the shower, I used the hot water because the cold water just froze my hands. This morning when I took a shower, I touched the water and it was like icy cold. And my hands are already always very cold, so that just made it even worse. But other than that, if you have hot water, it's like you don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, that's the situation with the water and also with the climate. It is about as bipolar as you would imagine. Like one part of the city, like I said, when I got to Quito, it was cold and fresh and only slightly sunny. I got to my uncle's house, then it got kind of dark. Then it got sunny when I left his house. Then during the process of reaching this place that I was going to yesterday, it started to rain. And then when we finished the meeting, it was just nice and fresh the rest of the night. So it's just kind of like hit or miss. What was I gonna say? So after that, yesterday I was gonna also say about like what I did yesterday. Well, not everything, just the fact that I went out to eat sushi. We also tried this food. I bought some chocolate, which I don't have with me. If not, I would show you this box of Pacari chocolate, which I'm gonna use for a future video. That's the only reason I bought it, because normally I don't buy anything. If it were up to me, I wouldn't even eat. But my cousin was really nice and she said, no, if you want to eat something, I'm like, I don't know, what do you want to eat? And she gave me some options and I was like, sushi, like, let's try it. So honestly, if it were up to me, most of the time I wouldn't even eat. But yeah. I was talking about the climate too. Yeah, super random. Anyone who's planning to come, I recommend being prepared with some kind of a sweater or jacket. Ideally, a rain jacket. This is just for like the cold. But if it were to start raining now, I'd be screwed. I'd be doomed because I only have this. And even if it does have a hoodie, it's not like the kind that absorbs the rain in a good way or like brushes it off. I'm gonna be cold after that, so not good. But yeah, so it's been pretty decent. Today at least it hasn't been. In the morning it was cold, like coldish. For me to say it was cold, it was, for some people who don't like the cold, it was probably very cold. But it's not to the level where it's unbearable, in my opinion, because unbearable cold would probably be when it starts like to snow, or maybe there's like there's rain also, so it makes it feel colder. But it's not unbearable, not yet, anyways. But yeah, that's the situation thus far. Today I have planned, aside from this live stream, I will probably record a video. Maybe later I'm going to explore with my cousin, go around the city maybe, record some things. Like I said, if I can, I'm going to record with her. Maybe she'll be in a video. And other than that, not much else. I don't have more time today, because after today, tomorrow I'm going back to Manta, then to Puerto Viejo. And that's it. So if you, first impressions other than the food, the people, the climate, the water, I don't know, the altitude. If you have any questions, please let me know right now so we can have this Q&A. But there really isn't much else to say in terms of like anything that I can think of right now. Maybe the traffic. The traffic was kind of bad, like I was saying earlier, with my cousin last night. But there are some zones where it's not terrible. Although one person was kind of aggressive. they drove, and like my cousin was driving. She was gonna go forward, and they skipped like 2 lanes to get into this like lane over here, like that. And she had to like stop and honk at them because like, why would you do that? But yeah. Oh, also earlier, I went. If you saw my Instagram story, maybe you already saw it. But I went to the Swiss embassy to go find out the information to be able to visit Switzerland. So I have this paper, and it's kind of crumpled up because nothing survives in this book bag, unless it's in a case. So yeah, or if it's really solid. And your question, how are the meals there? Coast people usually don't like food from the highlands. Honestly, like I said, yesterday I ate yapingacho, and it wasn't the greatest. The food that my friend was eating, I felt was better. I had a frappuccino. It's not Sierra food, but it was good. Anything with chocolate and sugar is good, unless it's too much sugar or too much chocolate. I don't know. I can never say no to too much chocolate. But anyways, today I haven't eaten yet. I'm not going to eat until probably 5. So I don't have much of a formal opinion other than certain foods that I've tried from the Sierra before, I haven't liked. I really like fritada. I really want to try hornado, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to try hornado. Because maybe, it depends on later. If later I go search for ramen, no hornado. Or maybe I can have hornado and ramen. Who knows? But yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on the food of the highlands because I know there's good highlands food. Because I tried that sausage, that chorizo was good. And please don't use that. Well, if you want, use that out of context. but it was good. And but yeah. Bilit, what is highlands? Sorry, I only recently discovered your videos and plan on visiting just for Kilatoa Loop. That's cool. The highlands is referring to La Sierra, basically where I'm at right now, the city of Quito. Typically, the highlands is the colder part of the country, in most cases. In some cases, it's not. It's just it could be fresh. It's perspective. Like for me, nothing is really truly cold, unless it's freezing. Then it's really truly cold. But it's pretty much that. That's the highlands. It's the mountainous region, you know. So it's typically colder for that too. But yeah, so the food, the climate, understanding the highlands. Any other questions you guys can ask, please go ahead. If you like the live stream, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, I recommend you do. There's a lot of things to come. For anyone visiting Ecuador, and if you want to take home some chocolate, I will be reviewing. This is why I bought the Picari chocolate. A spoiler for it. This is what I love about live streams. I spoil things for you guys. I don't want to, but I just naturally do it because I want to talk to you and tell you what I'm doing, so that you know and you're ready for it. But I'm planning on doing a chocolate review video. Maybe chocolate review, chocolate comparison, so that you get an idea what's good, what's not. But I'm gonna see the Ecuador brand chocolate, how it compares to each other, and maybe to other chocolates from other parts of the world. For example, I have some Hershey's, which is American chocolate, and not Ecuador-made Hershey's. I actually had some American Hershey's brought by my friend Michael. If Michael ever sees this live stream, I really appreciate it. If you guys ever want to bring me something, I don't know how because there's no mail service and I have no idea how it would arrive to me. But if you find me and you want to give me something, I'm not going to say no unless it's drugs. I don't want that. I don't mind people who do it, but I don't need it. But anyways, or alcohol. I'll take it, but I'll give it away. I'll give it to my parents. But I want to do the chocolate comparison video. I want to... What else? The video that I want to make here with my cousin is explaining Quito because she can give you a more in-depth explanation of Quito. I also want to make a video showing off what a middle class to almost upper class apartment or department, not sure what to call it, but it's really nice what it looks like and what it would like, what you get for the price that you pay. So there's a few things that I want to do before I leave here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do them all in one day, so it's gonna be a busy day today. So as soon as I'm done with the live stream, I'll probably go and get those things done. But yeah, if you have any more questions, please ask them in the process of the stream. Pocari chocolates I heard are good. Yes, I've heard the same thing. They actually have some kind of award, worldwide, well, a renowned award. I don't know what it is exactly, but I know that they're popular. And Ecuador chocolate in general, because they say that the chocolate that's made around the world, the cacao, you get it from here. So in theory, it's weird because the brands are worldwide, but the cacao is Ecuadorian. So in theory, the world produces Ecuadorian chocolate, just with a different brand name. I'm not sure if that's the best way to interpret it. So the chocolate review video is gonna be really weird because of that. But anyways, let's go on to what I'd like to say is the second part of this live stream. I wanna take you around the park and show you a little bit of what it's like. We can talk, of course, and check things out. So I'm going to carry around my camera, and in order to not look like a total tourist, I'm going to kind of close this thing that I have here because I have my tripod. So yeah, let's walk around and see what it's like. Well, at least you get to check it out. I'm probably gonna switch the view of the camera so you can see what I'm seeing. So this is I guess you would call it Carolina Park. A question, has this been a time period that you've experienced the most earthquakes? We're still in April. Ever since the April 2016 earthquake, April 16th, 2016, I just assume April is a month that I'm going to feel earthquakes, but that's not always the case. To be honest, the earthquakes are just so random. You could just be in the middle of January, you feel an earthquake. You're in September, you feel an earthquake. And it's random. There's no way for me to tell you a specific date because there is no specific date. And this month, at least, I don't even remember there being an earthquake. What I will say that I forgot to mention earlier is that when I got to my aunt and uncle's house, we were there talking for a bit, and then out of nowhere, the power went out. Like a transformer, they said, broke. You just heard like a boom, and then there was no power. And I was like, okay, weird. And they said this never happens. And I was like, oh, so I'm bad luck. I don't know. It was just a very coincidental thing, I think. Sorry, hiccups. But pretty funny too, because like I said, I made it sound funny by saying that, that it was my fault.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how's it going? So it was a very interesting thing also because I didn't expect there to be, you know, a power outage. But it wasn't even a power outage because, like I said, it might have just been a transformer. Like, I'm not even sure if it's called transformer in English. In Spanish, they call it un transformador. So the power just randomly went out and I was like, okay. Oh, look, it's a big plane. Let's take a look at it. Now that we're here, let's check out the plane. Let's also look at the doggy. Hello, doggy. There's two doggies. So there's this really big, I think it's a plane. It has to be a plane, but I don't know if it's like a plane that they just stopped using and now it's here, or if it's like something that they made out of paper mache. It can't be real. Or can it? It's actually called Optimus Prime. So if I touch it, it's gonna just transform. It's gonna go. That'd be hilarious. So is it really called? It says it's prohibited to get on the plane. Oh, okay, I get it. All right. You got me on that one. You got me. But yeah, there's this plane here. This is another part of the park. let's continue exploring. Take one last look at the plane before we go away. Plane with graffiti, looks really nice. I don't want to fall because I'm walking backwards now, but yeah. All right, continue the exploration of today. I want to try to make it to that bus stop so that you can see the bus stop, and I can show you the bus stop that gives, you know, tours, and we can check the prices, because I think there are prices for that. Well, there are prices, I just don't know what they are. So yeah, so if you have any questions or any other comments, or if you wanna troll me because I Optimus Prime Transformer. I'm not sure how you would call it in English. It's not Transformer. It's definitely not Optimus Prime. So we're a little bit of Quito. My cousin told me that's like, I think that one. No, it's the one over here. It's like the tallest building in Quito. And I think that one or a different building has like a whole bunch of expensive rooms. But yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep exploring. Cevichochos. I'm not a fan, but I'm also not a fan. Checking things out. I like how the park it's really big and has a lot of soccer fields. I just don't know if it's like in Puerto Viejo. Like Puerto Viejo has Rotonda Park, which is the biggest park. And in Rotonda Park, you have to pay to use the fields. Like, I don't know if people have to pay to use the fields here too, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I feel like if it's a park, a free public space, there should be at least one field that's a free public space. But in Rotonda Park, there's two indoor, they're called indoor, and it's like mini soccer. They have two indoor fields and you can't use them unless you pay for them. And then there's the big soccer field in Rotonda Park, but it's like the property of the university and you can only use it if you have permission from the university, which they don't typically give unless you're a teacher. So, and like you have to be a university teacher. Like I'm a teacher, but I'm not a university teacher, so they probably wouldn't give me permission to use it. I've actually, since not the captain, the trainer, no, he's the owner of the team, since he's a university professor, I've asked him if he can ask them for the field. And he says he can, but there's no guarantee that they'll give it to him. So, you know, there's that. But we'll see. Maybe one day we'll get to play on the big field in Rotonda Park in Puerto Viejo, a game of American football, and I'll have it recorded and I'll upload it as a video on the channel, like big Puerto Viejo game. That'd be awesome. Some people playing soccer, or maybe, like I said, indoor, because those look like more like small indoor fields. But not indoors and indoor. I keep insisting it's like, that's the mini soccer here, indoor. I always got it confused when I got here. I was like, indoor, do you play it inside? And they're like, no, it's just you play it on this field. I'm like, interesting. But so weird. I also wanted to see if I could get into the metro, but I'm not sure where the entrances to the metro are. My cousin showed me, but I'm not from here, so I have no idea how to get there. I'd actually be very lost if I tried to find it too. And I don't want to go into dangerous areas. Although I think, wait, I think I might actually be able to find the metro. I think there's the metro over there. I think I can go into the metro, although I don't know if I'll get signal down there. So I'll probably just show you where it is, but I don't know if I'll be able to go down there. I was actually more looking for the bus stop. But there's this thing here. Not exactly sure what it is. Maybe just a very nice piece of art here at the park. But let's keep going. Let's see if we can reach the metro. It wasn't my plan, but I think the bus stop is over there. Maybe we should go to the bus stop first and then the metro. Let's see if we can find the bus stop. And I think that's actually the bus. No, it doesn't have an open top, so I don't think that's it. But I think the bus stop is over here. So let's go check out the bus stop. Let's check out the bus stop. By the way, obviously I am still here, just letting you see everything that's in front, not behind. And yes, for anyone who's watched my channel, I am kind of risking it being like this, but I don't plan on being out here very long because I'll probably end the stream in about another 10 minutes. So that's 1 hour of live stream today for everyone who was able to join me in Quito. A heads up, thanks, but we're not done yet, so let's keep it going. So let's check this out. I think this is the bus stop because it was blue. And I remember when we drove by it with my aunt, with my cousin, I mean, she was like, it's this one here. And I saw it and was like, oh, it's blue. But let me check it out. Let's see the fares for anyone who wants to take a little tour around Quito. Let's see, or is this not it? Or does it not say the fares? Well, there's something that says Tourist Information Center over here. Let's see. There's this thing. Quito City Tour. Yeah, this is it. So get on and off the bus all day with the same ticket. It's a double-decker bus, according to that. It goes out every day from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. First bus and the last bus. First bus at 8, last bus at 4. Let's see here. It takes you, I guess it takes you around all of these places. Jardín Botánico, Botanical Gardens, Mariscal, the Foch Plaza, Artisanal Market. Huh, El Elegido is like the chosen one. Hotel Hilton, La Iglesia, La Basílica. That's the thing I was mentioning earlier. San Francisco, the Panecillo, Casa de la Cultura, nice. La Floresta, Swiss Hotel, Boulevard Naciones Unidas. So basically that would be the route that's down here. Seems to be highly recommended. And I guess this is the bus, because it does look like a double-decker bus. I'm guessing they're waiting for people to get on. So yeah, this is the bus if you want to take a tour around the city of Quito. I don't know how much it costs, but let me ask either way, so that way I can know. Give me a second. Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Solo quería saber cuánto costaba el bus.
Claro, tienes el precio aquí de $15
Ah.
para extranjeros y $15 ecuatorianos, está bajo $10 por persona de producción.
Ah, ya. Listo. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
All right. So basically, $15 for anyone who's not from here, and $7 for anyone who's not from $7.50 for kids who are not from here, and $10 for Ecuadorians, and $5 for kids and I guess older people. So yeah, that is the fare. Yours, I may be going to live in Quito if the EPN University accepts me, so I may be doing tourism in Quito as well. Sounds good. I hope it goes well for you. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the metro now, so reverse. Change of direction. So either way, this is the bus. Don't forget, if you ever want to check it out, now you know the prices. And there's also a whole bunch of stores over there. And I just saw, like, on the other side of the street, there's a Novi Compu. Hold up. Is the mic good? Yeah. I just saw Novi Compu, and I saw Don Shader's video the other day where he went to Novi Compu and they didn't let him record. They didn't let him film in Novi Compu. It's because some places obviously are more, you know, I don't want to say secretive, but more like, no, you can't like film in here. And it makes sense. A lot of people film with bad intent. Like some people, I understand the thought process of a person who doesn't want someone to go into their store to do some kind of prank video, because it might give the store a bad rep. Like, oh, they're not serious, or oh, if I go to the store, someone's gonna record me. Like, you know, a lot of concerns. But my purpose is solely touristic, very informative. So if this video is helping you out, or if you like it, don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, to share. But yeah, that is just some extra stuff. Not obligatory, only if you'd like. So let's keep it going. Let's keep checking out the city. We still have like another 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, please, obviously let me know. I'm gonna try to check out the metro, but I'm still doubtful if I'll still get service down there. Should be interesting. Let's keep it going. Just remember, guys, I can't sing. So if I ever try to sing, feel free to write in the chat. Please don't. Because I realize my voice that shatters mirrors is not worth listening when singing. I'm very confident in the way I speak, but in the way I sing, no. So this is the metro, Quito. Kind of curious as to if I'll get signal down there. Whoa, please do. No, my friend, you're asking for trouble if you want to hear me sing. It looks like it's closed. It's got a gate, unless like it opens by itself, which would be really high-tech looking. But this is the metro. And I was gonna actually ask, I don't know who I would ask, but I wanted to ask why people don't use the metro, because apparently I heard a lot of comments that Quito has the metro now, right? And the metro's nice, obviously. It has to be nice, it's something new. And like, you say here in Spanish, novedoso, so it's something like, you know, current, it's new. And you would think more people would use it, but when I've talked about it, people have said, no, people don't use the metro. I even asked my cousin, do you use the metro? She's like, no, it doesn't take me where I have to go. I'm like, oh. So it's like for people, they see more convenience in taking a bus, in taking a taxi. And not only that, but obviously bus and taxi companies don't want you taking a metro because it takes away from their business. So it's like the implementation is cool because it would be a cool thing to use, but it's not ideal yet because there's still not an amount of people who would want to use it. Like, everyone's still, I guess you would say, culturally imbalanced or culturally partial to using a taxi, to using a bus, nowadays to using an Uber. But even Uber, I think, had a hard time like starting. But yeah, the metro's closed. I don't know why. I'm gonna ask my cousin about that later. Maybe I'll also ask some people around here, do you use the metro? Why or why not? Who knows? We'll see. So now we're back in the park because, like I said, I was not staying out there very long because that's the street, and I've talked about danger before and I'm not risking it that long. Even though it looks safe. But I was driving around with my aunt and I also saw some streets that didn't look safe. But, you know, appearances are deceiving, and sometimes what you think is the reality really isn't. So it's hard to say. But yeah, if you have any further questions, of course, please ask them before we end this stream, because I think we're only going to stream for a little while longer. I'm probably gonna go find a more strategic spot. Although I don't know what strategic would be. I just think from here on, I just have to go home. Not even my house. Or I don't know, maybe I'll try to do the video idea that I had. I'm just not sure because I'm still kind of hesitant. When I wanna, okay, so I'm gonna spoil you guys some more. because you guys are here. You guys are here hanging out with me, so you guys get to know all the information before it happens. So aside from the chocolate video that I want to make, it's not going to be today because that video I'm going to make it with my Swiss friends. Aside from this live stream, I wanted to do an interview. I wanted to interview people here at the park and ask them questions. Well, a specific question. I'm kind of fighting myself if I should ask. For example, I've seen this video that was really popular, a Japan video, of what do Japanese think about Americans. So I was thinking I can ask Ecuadorians, what do you think about Americans? Like, ask the Ecuadorian population, like, what do you think about Americans? And I think it would be cool. I just don't know. I always have this this feeling when there's like a good video, but I also have to like do something that's really hard, because talking to people I don't know, it looks easy, like when I'm doing it in the videos. But it's sometimes like, what if they say no? What if they think I'm like a criminal? What if they like, oh, they get scared? Like, there's always a bunch of concerns. And I get it. I get it. I really do. I've told you in my videos that people get scared when someone approaches them on a motorcycle. So even in person, when someone just like comes up to you, they're like, uh-oh. And I don't know what people perceive me as. With a camera in my hand, obviously they're gonna be like, oh, influencer. And some people don't wanna be asked the dumb questions, because a lot of influencers here, that's what I was talking about earlier, why they won't let people record inside stores, because people go for pranks and people ask dumb questions like, I don't know, like, do you have a girlfriend is not a dumb question, but after asking, do you have a girlfriend, like someone as a joke, prank, they'll ask, oh, would you go touch that person's butt or something for $10, like as a prank? Or would you do X or Y for a kiss? I don't know. I don't even know what the prank ideas are anymore, because I don't watch the prank videos. I just know people are tired of them, and that's why they won't let people into their businesses, into their stores. It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any ideas for interview questions I could ask? Because I'm really like I don't know what to ask. So I'm here like asking you, the audience. Anyone want to know what I should ask a person here? I was thinking either, what do you think of Americans? What do you think about the gun control situation? Like, should people be allowed to carry guns? Oh, there's one that I have to ask, and I might do that one because someone had commented. I forgot their name, but they asked me to ask people what they thought about online long distance dating, and I forgot to ask that question. Do you want to interview? See what we'll see if I get a chance. We'll see. So yeah, I think we'll end the stream here for now. I don't know if you have any final questions. Now's your chance. I'm here with the plane. So I have to prop this up. You don't prop it up because either way we're gonna end the stream here. So any final questions, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Question and answer. Honestly, there's nothing else I have to really say about first impressions. I might make a separate video about that. Sorry, I'm touching the microphone, just making sure it's good. But yeah, you may ask what they think about foreigners. I asked what they thought about foreign countries and their customs, like what they found weird. So maybe I'll ask what they think about foreigners. It's a lot more generalized, and it's not like specifically, oh, what do you think about Ecuadorians? What do you think about, Americans? So yeah, maybe I can ask that. The main question I really want to ask, because I promised through a comment, is what people feel or think about online dating, long distance dating. So I might do that. I might do that today, and then afterwards in another video. Trust me, I have a lot of questions to ask. Interviews is a new format that is not a one-shot thing. It is definitely going to be a consistent, very frequent kind of format because it's fun. It's fun to do. Hello, Yemi. The Swiss ladies will be back on Saturday. They're going to be in Galapagos, but they won't be available until probably next week because you come back from a long trip, your social battery is drained, so you're like done. So I probably won't see them until sometime next week. Probably next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday. So in the process, I'll be uploading the video that I made already, that I finished editing a few days ago. And then I'll probably upload some of the shorts that I made while I've been here in Quito. And yeah, I think that's about it in terms of content plans. I do have other video ideas, just it's in the woodworks. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who was here. I'm going to say bye to those who have left a comment because if you haven't left a comment, I don't know you're here. So Ecuador Raw and Real, I hope if you're still here, good to see you. Dovi, thank you for being here. Be Lit, appreciate your questions. Yoris, always good to have you here. Edward, appreciate the trolling, yes and no. And Yemi, also thank you for being here. Maybe ask for xenophobia because some people don't see with good at, yeah, maybe. Ironically, I ran into someone who was from Venezuela at the Swiss embassy and they were having a complication, but maybe I'll see her again someday. Her name was really hard to pronounce. I think it was like Nadeska. I can't remember. I'm not even gonna mess up her name because then I would be mad at myself for that. Thank you very much for joining in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Very different from normal, very nice kind of format. I might make a poll asking if you guys like this kind of format. Maybe I'll record at the park in Puerto Viejo. I'll record at Las Vegas or Rotonda Park, a live stream, and we can talk like this. But if not, you know, thanks for hanging out. Take care, and you know how it is. As always, ace out. Woo, plane.